Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel and the 4th of July edition 1981 for the All Star Wrestling Review Series. We are going to continue going through these, and I've actually watched all that's available on the network. Just going to upload them over the next several days here. Hopefully, have everything up for this series. My goal is by the end of September and start a new series beginning of October, if not before. But this is the 7481 edition of the program, and as you know, we've got over 1,800 of these, almost 1,900. I'm going to go into 2,000 pretty quickly here, and as we move forward, the new Intercontinental Champion, Don Muraco, with the Grand Wizard, pinning Dominic DeNucci at 8:29 after hitting him with a foreign object given him the moments earlier by the Grand Wizard. Of course, Muraco picking up the Intercontinental title, a pretty big deal. Muraco kind of a central figure for the next couple of years in a heavy way, kind of moving forward. But the use of the foreign object, certainly against a guy like DeNucci, a pretty big deal, in the sense that DeNucci, very basic guy throughout the 70s for the promotion. Probably at times the number two babyface behind a guy like Bruno Sammartino, both Italian, both very rules-based, very basic-based, and Don Muraco wastes as much time as he possibly can before getting into the ring, and the Wizard spends a good amount of time with Muraco on the floor. DeNucci manages headlocks, arm bars, basic maneuvers. Nothing necessarily to write home about, but at the same time, the control of the process by DeNucci is pretty pronounced and clear. DeNucci backs Muraco into the corner several times there, and Muraco also is punched, kicked, and choked by DeNucci, with every time he tries to cheat. DeNucci does get Muraco up on the shoulders for the airplane spin, and looks like he could beat the champion. However, the Wizard takes brass knuckles or some other foreign objects into the hands of Muraco, and certainly worth checking out. Just a decent match for the time period, but Muraco getting the cheating win. Then we go to the next in the series of matches. This time, we go to another kind of staple in the area by nature, Pedro Morales defeating Baron Mikel Cicluna. Of course, Morales just losing the Intercontinental Championship, and Cicluna, a major guy around the area. Cicluna overpowers him with basic maneuvers, including just pushing him back to the ropes, forearms, and headlocks. Morales, not to be outdone, getting powered down a little bit, but not willing to surrender by any stretch of the imagination. Spins around, and Morales nails him with a couple of punches. Always firing up, and good fire from Morales. Arm bars by Cicluna. Cicluna trying to stay on his man as much as he can without over-dominating or cheating, but eventually the roll-up, and Morales does a post-match promo with Pat Patterson. Very unhappy with losing the championship. Wants a rematch with Muraco as soon as possible. Is annoyed that the championship and the honor associated with it has been questioned due to Muraco using the foreign object as he did before. And then we move into another in the series of matches. This time we move towards, let's see here, Johnny Roz and Steve King. Kind of a underneath match. Roz had taken a loss to Kurt Hennig the week before, so maybe they want to give Roz a little bit of a shot back. Rod's punches, basic stuff. Steve King with a crossbody or an attempted crossbody, and actually mumbles into the ropes. So certainly Steve King, not exactly a guy who you would expect to get a great deal of potential victories, and he does not in this particular endeavor, as one would imagine him not to. And then we see a missed elbow drop by Johnny Roz. Steve King manages to kind of stay on his adversary for a little bit. Roz finally does some cheating and body slams, basic stuff, gets a backbreaker and a suplex over. And I mean, Johnny Roz was never a bad wrestler by any stretch of the imagination. Also, was not exactly given form to being a technical master by any stretch either. Then we go to another in the series of matches here, which in this case happens to be SD Jones in a tag match here. Odd tag match though it is, and SD Jones and Kurt Hennig form your babyface tag team, which is just weird to me. Because Hennig, known not for his major babyface run in the area, Kurt Hennig, SD Jones defeating Jack Carlson and Ron Shaw. And I mean, SD Jones takes, I wouldn't say the majority of the match, but, it's kind of, although that is an incorrect statement, it's actually Chris Kanyon and Ron Shaw here in the run. And, Hennig takes arm locks, arm bars, and stuff on Chris Kanyon, who later becomes King Kong Bundy. Just an interesting side note there. Shaw does come out ahead, and eventually the babyface team does get ahead on their adversaries here. We also close the program with a returning to the area predominantly Greg the Hammer Valentine. I say predominantly because he's here for the next little while. I don't know if this is his first match back. I think it is because I don't have access to the run of Championship Wrestling. It's not available on the network anywhere, and I haven't done that many episodes of it anyway. Valentine now officially using the figure 4 more readily. Grand Wizard still with Valentine as he was in 79 a few years before. A front face lock and basic moves by Valentine. Valentine drives his man back into the corner, takes a couple shots along the way, elbow to the top of the head, and eventually gets an armbar, takes him over, and eventually drives knee after knee into the leg and calf of his opponent and hooks in the figure 4 and gets the victory in quick succession. We'll be back with more right after this.